Hi, I'm Matt Wiggins, one of the founders of Pattern. And today, along with physician, family, financial advisors, I'm going to bring you the 7 things all physicians need to know about disability insurance. Now, this is a complex subject. This is something that we've helped thousands of doctors with through the years, and we see a lot of the same questions, a lot of the same confusion. So we're hoping to clear that up with these top 7 things. Now, one thing you need to know about disability insurance is it's there to protect you and your income. So let me ask you a question. If you're making this amazing financial plan with physician, family, financial advisors, and you've got this investment plan and debt repayment plan and retirement plan, you got all this together, what's the one single thing that funds that? It's your income, right? And so if you have all these plans without disability insurance to replace your income if you get disabled and can't earn it, those plans are not secure. And so we see disability insurance as one of, if not the most important protections for all of these financial plans that you're making, because ultimately, if you get hurt or injured or ill and you can't work and earn your income, you're going to need something providing that income replacement to live off of and to still fuel your financial plans. And so hopefully that gives you a better idea of why disability insurance is so important in any financial plan. So with that, let's jump into the 7 things. Number 1, own occupation is the strongest definition of disability. This is true. This means that if you get a policy that's a true own occupation policy, it will protect your specific duties, your specific procedures, the things you've been trained to do. And if you can't do those because of an injury or illness, then the company is going to pay you the full amount of benefit, even if you go find another job. If you go work for a library or you go teach somewhere or do research or whatever, they're still going to pay you. Whereas if you don't have the right kind of coverage, the own occupation kind of coverage, then they're going to, if you have it, they're going to pay you the full benefit. If you don't have it, they'll reduce what they're paying you. And so just so you know, there's only 6 companies that provide you this kind of coverage, and that is Principal, Emeritus, Standard, Guardian, Ohio National, and Mass Mutual. And so, yes, if you've gotten quotes from any companies besides those 6, it is not a true own occupation policy. You should probably look elsewhere. Number 2, it should cover partial disability. Absolutely. According to the studies that these insurance companies do, about 70% of their claims are partial and not total. And so, if it's either all or nothing, you might find yourself partially disabled and with a partial loss of income, and they may not pay you anything. But if you have the riders, the additional features on the policies that pay partial benefits, then you can get paid a partial benefit in that situation. So because of its high likelihood, we think that's obviously very, very important to cover partial disabilities. Disability insurance for young doctors should include what's called a future purchase option. So when you're young and you're healthy, you can actually buy a smaller policy, lock in your rates, and then as your income goes up, they're going to give you the guaranteed right to increase the coverage, even if your health deteriorates. And so getting this future purchase option, future increase option, whatever the certain company calls it, locking in your guarantee to increase your coverage in the future, regardless of changes to your health, super, super important. You want to make sure you have that. As far as other riders, a recovery benefit is important. It says that if you're coming back from a disability and you're not able to fully work, they'll help you while you recover and pay you a partial benefit. There's that partial or residual coverage down at the bottom. That's the one you really want to have. Future purchase, obviously, one you want to have. The cost of living adjustment, the reason I'm talking about this last, it's very important if you're a young doctor in your 30s, maybe even early 40s. That says that they're going to increase what they're paying you each year if you're disabled, so you kind of keep up with inflation. If you're a doctor in your late 40s, or certainly as you get into your 50s, it may not be worth the additional cost to have a cost of living adjustment. So make sure you look for what the riders are and determine what's best for you. Number 4, group disability insurance offers limited income protection for most physicians. Absolutely true. Your group insurance or your employer insurance, sometimes called group insurance, it has some major flaws. Number 1, a lot of times it has an arbitrary maximum to the coverage. So they may say they're covering 60% of your pay, but it's really only maybe $5,000 or $10,000 a month. And that may not be truly 60%. On top of that, most of the time it's going to be taxable. So they're going to withdraw taxes out of it before they pay you. And then it's not going to be true own occupation coverage. So I've had doctors actually come to me after they were disabled and say, hey, I know you know a lot about disability insurance. I was covered by my employer's plan that covered 60% of my pay. I'm only getting a check for about 20% of my pay. And that's when I had to explain about it's not own occupation, it's taxable, there's maximums. And that's the wrong time to learn those things. So hopefully this helped you to know that your group disability insurance from your employer, not sufficient on its own. Here's a good example. We get a question, why do I need to get individual DI on top of my group employer coverage? And so this just kind of tells you why. It's very different. Your own individual coverage is not taxable. It's tax-free benefit that's paid to you. It's yours. You can take it from job to job. It's portable. There's so many benefits to it. It is true own occupation. So make sure you have some of your own coverage on top of anything your employer gives you. Number 5, disability insurance benefits may not or may be taxable to physicians. So as I just mentioned to you, group or employer coverage is taxable benefit to be taxed before it comes to you. Your own policy, for the most part, is going to be tax-free. Now, if you decide to go the route of forming your own entity, like an LLC, and then you deduct your premium payments for your coverage off your taxes as a business expense, well, you don't pay taxes on the premium. That means you're going to pay taxes on the benefit. So for the most part, doctors should pay their premiums with their after-tax take-home pay so that if they get disabled and they're relying on disability insurance for their income, it will be tax-free. You only get taxed on one side or the other, premiums or on the benefit if it's being paid to you. We think it's best to pay it while you're working and to make the benefit tax-free. And that's the way it's going to be for most of you. Number 6, medical exclusions need not reduce disability insurance benefits indefinitely. This is true. So a lot of medical exclusions are temporary, meaning that either you had something done recently or you had an illness recently, or maybe you're on some type of medication, you come off of that. There are changes in your health. It could be to the plus side, to the benefit. You may be able to go back to your disability insurance company and say, hey, you made an exclusion here for my knee because I had surgery on it 2 months before I applied. But now I've done rehab, I've been back to work for 6 months, there's no residual effects on my knee, and they may throw some coverage back in there for your knee. So just keep in mind, if you do get some medical exclusions on your policy, they don't necessarily have to be permanent. You can go back and have them reconsidered pretty much on an annual basis, or the insurance company will let you know how long it's going to be before they'll reconsider. Number 7, choosing the right insurance agent. Makes it easy to choose the right disability policy. Of course, I believe in this, and I think this is a huge thing to think about. There are really 2 types of disability insurance agents out there. There are captive agents and there are independent brokers. A captive agent is someone who, at the bottom of their email and their address there, their signature, or on their business card, it's going to say the name of one insurance company. And what that means is, whether they say it or not, there's going to be some incentive. There's going to be something that's going to cause where they want to sell that company's policy. What you really need is an independent broker, someone who can look at the whole marketplace for disability insurance and who can come to you on your terms, your situation, and give you unbiased education, help you evaluate them. And at the end of the day, to an independent broker, it doesn't really matter which company you go with. So because of that lack of a conflict of interest, they can actually look out for your best interest. So be sure you ask if you're working with someone, if they are a captive agent or if they're an independent broker. They're probably going to squirm a little bit and give you some weird answer if they're a captive agent. If they're an independent broker, they're going to let you know, because that's the way to go. So now that we've covered all 7, what's the next step? Obviously, I hope you learned a lot from this. You feel more empowered to approach disability insurance confidently. But at this point in time, the next step is really to get after your disability insurance. See if you can't check it off your to-do list. It's probably cheaper than it will ever be right now, if you're in training especially, but even if you're not, you're younger and healthier, there's discounts available now that may not be available later. So right now would be the time to start looking into actually getting your disability insurance. So the way to do it is simply to request your quotes, compare everything side by side, have an independent broker go through that with you and educate you side by side in an unbiased manner. And then you're able to simply buy the policy. And honestly, disability insurance is something you can have as long as you need and get out of it whenever you want to. There's no really strings attached or waiting periods to get out of a policy. So something you can buy with confidence, knowing that you're in control of it. If you're looking for someone to work with on this, if you'd like someone to help you compare the options side by side, this is a good example of what we do for our clients. So if you click on our ad, on our link or on our ad, then you're going to be directed to a page where you can enter in a little bit of information, just what we need to know to get you accurate quotes. And then we're going to build a report like this. And within 24 hours or so, you'll be able to sit down and talk to one of our advisors. They're going to go through this side by side in an unbiased manner, help you learn about your options, their prices, and then help you confidently make the right decision. We really want to help you get this right the first time. There are big costs if you don't get it right the first time. So that's what we do for our clients. If you'd like to become one of our clients, if you'd like for us to help you to look into this with no obligation, no promises, no nothing, just a free look at all of your options, then again, click our link, click our ad, and request your quotes, and we'll help you. So with that, I hope you learned a lot today. Obviously, we want to help you with your disability insurance any way that we can. So click and get your quotes today. And otherwise, I hope you are doing well and stay healthy out there. Thanks.